What's up, everyone? Glad to have you here. I'm very excited about today's conversation. It's with Shane Griffin, a visual artist, a really amazing artist whom I've had the I've had the luck to work with, to call a friend. I'm super stoked on his work. I have it hanging in my house, but this is not about that kind of work. This conversation is going to be about digital work and NFTs. And Griff, as a lot of people know him in the internet world, is having some success in the NFT land, and we're going to chat about it a little bit. So he is going to join us shortly. I'm just waiting for him to send his request. And if for those of you who don't know about NFTs, it's sorry, just getting oh, there we go. I love it. Here he comes. All right, guys. Well, Griff's about to join us. And we'll get started.
Hi,
Oh,
Tim.
wow. Look at that guy. Wow. You are just, it's always shocking to me. I see you and I'm like, oh, handsome man,
You want to
super
give me a hug again,
talented
right?
art. I do. I do. I mean, come on. It's been a long time since we've seen each other in real life.
I know, yeah. I mean, you're all gray now in the beard.
What was I not gray before? Did
No,
this
I
really
think
just,
that
oh shit, man.
just embracing it now. He was dying it. If anyone here knows Tina, he's dying it before, and it's always been gray.
Oh man, it's really good to see you, honestly.
You too, man. Thanks for
I
having me
wasn't,
on.
yeah, yeah. I mean, thanks for joining my new little fun thing that I'm trying to, do and talk to super talented people like yourself and just, have some fun conversations. Fridays, they're about having fun conversations.
Mm.
I what like I've always been a massive fan of your work. Like I have a tangible piece of your art in my.
Yeah, a real
I
one.
don't have anything on the blockchain yet, but like, I mean,
Soon
I
enough,
don't know.
right?
I'm like, shit. I don't know if I can get the same deal I got on the print you gave me. Like,
The
after I
homie
was
deal,
looking
yeah,
at the
maybe.
prices that you got that are going for on Super Rare, it's
Yeah,
amazing, bro.
crazy. Yeah,
Um,
crazy.
but it's such a fascinating space right now, and I'm crazy novice. Like I don't know a ton of shit. I've done a lot of. I started listening to podcasts about it and reading a lot of articles about it, and then I was like, and then you were posting this shit, which was not just fucking amazing. Like in my world, I'm like, oh, it's a fucking amazing. But it's like not just art; it's could be a commercial, whatever. Like that's how my head's thinking.
Hmm.
But then like I saw that it was it's like a distribution thing, right? Super rare kind of thing, or like a gallery or something like that, kind of where you can present and share and sell your work, right?
Right, right, right.
For NFT specifically. But anyway, I noticed that and I'm like, oh, this is great because like I have this crazy interest in like trying to not be an old dumb guy,
Yeah.
and like not, so
Same.
the key is like what are the cool kids doing? So I'm just I don't know. I was just, I have a bunch of questions for you, and I bet this should just be a free flowing conversation about, we can, I'll introduce you to my new dog later because I know you love dogs, that kind of
I
thing.
do.
So I know. So
Excited for that.
at least, but anyway, so I remember you and I had this conversation. I think you were talking about it was like a few months ago, really, like when you had heard about it, you were trying to explain it to me, I think, and I was like, dude, I don't really understand what the hell you're talking about. I think you were talking about people or something who was starting to
Right.
sell, like, so how did you kind of like
It was
what
on my
what
radar
brought you into
for.
it? How'd you discover it? Like, what did you have to do to kind of, I don't know. Can you give
Get
us a
in
little bit
there.
of the background?
I, I mean, I started hearing about it maybe kind of last summer, right? And at that time, it was, I guess, like people were selling stuff. It wasn't like the kind of prices that you're seeing today. But I remember hearing about it and thinking, this is a great way to really kind of revolutionize like authorship and ownership of stuff, because how many times have I been through it with you, and like where I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
brands have taken my stuff, and
Oh
we've had to
yeah.
get into a whole legal thing about it, and that's like, nobody wants to do that. Like nobody gets a kick out of that,
Yeah.
I certainly don't. I hate it.
Yeah,
um
yeah. I
but there
remember
was,
you, ever since I met you, you were very passionate about like fighting when people ripped you off. You were like,
mm,
dude, this is my piece of art here. They're just taking it and using it in this, and it's like it's obviously it's a digital copy. And that's what it's a good time for me to talk about that, because that's a good thing to bring up about the NFTs is it's a non-fungible asset, right? That you have to it actually gets like a piece of code or well, a token or whatever that is absolutely identifiable as an original piece. So if anyone took it and
mm.
used it, you could actually go back and see that it was your piece of art. Right?
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, people could technically still take it, but at least there's like, there's a level of providence, where you can
Yeah,
go
yeah.
back and you can see exactly when it was created initially, who it was created by. So that kind of, train of that digital footprint is there, and I think that's something that we've been missing forever. So I started getting into it from that point of view and thinking like,
Mm-hmm.
man, if there was a way that I could like digitally certify everything I upload, then all of these conversations with attorneys and all sorts of nonsense with brands would all just go away, right? Because you'd be like, here it is, here's the proof, there it is. And that's kind of the way who knew it was going to be what it is, right? Like nobody did.
Yeah, it's
Um,
fucking wild, bro.
it's
Because
wild,
the more
man.
I
Like
read about it, the more the tweet that just sold for 2.9 million, or maybe it wasn't. Yeah, like Jack
it was Jack
Dorsey,
Dorsey's
right?
one.
Yeah, the original CEO of, or the CEO of Twitter, or something from
Yeah,
like
yeah,
2006, or it's
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
Like,
but what's cool about it is like, do you remember? Maybe you don't. When I was in my early 20s, there was like Napster
yeah.
and LimeWire, and this is like the opposite, right? It's like this is
Mm.
like actually you would never be able to do that, right? Or you can, but it's or I don't know, like that. It seems like it's like this is like for music especially, and art, it's like it protects you, and that's what I think what's really cool about it.
Yeah, and a lot of it's to do with like, kind of cutting away the fat, and if some, what I've had what's been real revolutionary to me with it is that like if I want to work with, or more so if like a bigger musical artist wants to work with me, there's no A&R, there's no label, there's no
Yeah.
manager, there's none of that shit in the middle. It's just like me and them. We're having a conversation and we're putting something together, and that's what is the most amazing thing to me, because it's back into the creative first kind of thing, and us being able to put that out there, have a platform without having to go through all these rigmarole of contracts with
Middleman and yeah.
yeah, all that sort of stuff. And it just, I think one thing that's really stood out to me about it is like the fact that like people can kind of what's the word I'm looking for, um, be autonomous. Like there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
more autonomy in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to just, for instance, I'm doing a thing with a
It's
musical artist in a
truer.
minute, and it's just the two of us. They're out of their 10-year deal, and then there's no one kind of taking a chunk out of my thing. So it's two of us putting it together.
Yeah.
Whatever happens to it, and we both make something off it, and then somebody gets to keep this one-off collaboration that these two people do. So
Right, because you
it's a
can
win-win,
sell, then
right?
you can like put it out into the market and you can sell that, and someone can have ownership and then resell it if they want as
Right.
copies or whatever for a fraction of the price or whatever. And but then it all still goes back. Then you guys retain your rights even so then, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So it's
And you
not like
guys
you're
get a
selling it.
percentage of whatever it gets sold for from there on out.
Right. And I'm
Correct?
wondering, is that going to filter some, because you can already see it filter into like brands, and there's a bunch of conversations happening right now about how brands kind of get involved with it, and from a commercial aspect, and like it's the Wild West at the minute in terms of like
Yeah, yeah, it's
the
pretty Wild
breakup of
West.
those percentages. Like if it's hard to know, and especially what's really cool about it is it puts the artist back as like a firm player in the game, rather than being kind of like the bottom of the barrel, where sometimes it was getting like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's I mean, it is the Wild West, and I think it's like, and I mean, but at the same time, it's kind of like getting in early, like you do with anything, right? That's
Right.
on like that kind of a thing. It's like, um, because I'm sure, like we know working in advertising and with brands, and and you more in the art world too. Like, like once kind of, can it truly be protected from like big business kind of, getting involved in changing things or, um,
Yeah, I mean, can anything though? You
yeah,
know,
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
like money corrupts, right? So like, it doesn't really matter. At some point, it's gonna happen. But I guess it's really just down to the artists to remain pretty diligent with that and to kind of stand their ground.
You're
I think
getting
what's
some fucking
interesting,
hilarious comments, bro.
I know, yeah.
What a snack. I love that.
Here, he's on vacation. Shouldn't you be on vacation, Angeletti?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, like if what am I trying to say? Like, if I don't know. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. That's exactly what this platform's for, losing our train of thought. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just happy if anyone actually comes and watches this thing. But no,
What we
I'm
got? We got
sure.
43 people.
Oh no, but that's like just right now. I'll get you the metadata at the end. But I do, one of your reps, Psyops, shouted us out for this thing, so I want to just say thank you for that. That was very cool of them.
Thank you,
Um,
Sal. Love you.
but have you made okay, like the stuff that you're selling right now on Super Rare, fucking is amazing. Like, and I
Thank you.
see that other people are selling like crazy, stupid little 8-bit, or like even the CryptoPunk stuff that was supposedly the first NFT project ever. Like, that stuff's like literally like a little 8, maybe 16-bit design of a funny little
Hmm.
character guy, with a mohawk or whatever.
Right.
So, like obviously the breadth of like what's on there is huge, and like
Right.
something so you could be so simple and sell for a shit ton of money, and then obviously in yours, I know your stuff, I know you make it, your stuff is not simple, but so I mean, at least I don't think, unless you got magic tricks that I don't know about,
Just tears.
but so what do you think of that? Like, do you have any clue on how things get valued? Like who said, like, why? I mean, we know why CryptoPunk is worth a lot of money because it's one of the first, right?
Mm.
But like, what's to say, like, or the Beeple thing that was, that sold through Christie's,
Mm.
like was an actual, like through a Christie's auction. That's a weird one too. Like, I can't quite wrap my head around how Christie's was involved in that. But,
No idea.
as an auction house, because that's kind of like a third party coming in and like they're getting money from that.
Mm.
Anyway, and that was just like a collage thing, right? So like, is there any, what's the question I'm trying to ask? I'm not sure, but is there any like, is there any data or research on like what actually sells on this, or is there any rhyme or
Dude,
reason?
no,
Like
I have
what?
no idea. Like, how would you know? I
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's to do with like some of the stuff that I see go that's simple, as you say, go for like high amounts is probably down to that people invested in that artist as like an internet uh, legend or an internet celebrity or the first of its kind. Like I think
Yeah.
you see people's like they call it their genesis pieces, but the first ones that they put out, they tend to
Hmm.
rack up a lot of value as you see that artist kind of progress and get better and not get better, but like sell more work and have more eyes on them. It kind of you look back at their first pieces, and the collectors love to the collectors that are spending a lot of money, they like to get those first pieces because they signify kind of the artist's induction into the world. But yeah, you see some mad stuff though. Who really knows? I mean, I think it's lightning in a bottle for some people. It's like it
Yeah.
just happens to be the right place at the right time, and especially if they're an early adopter. A lot of the early adopters are doing really really well out of it. So
But
um,
what? So I mean, to me, it's early. Like, is it early now, or are we already like really late in the process? Like, is it too late for people to jump in, or yeah? There's a
um,
question. Let's
there's
see.
a question in there from Lucius. What do you think might be best step with Apple and its aesthetic? Will you be? No, no, I'm not. I'm never involved with them at all. I don't know. I hope it's not flowers on cars. Um,
If it is,
and if it is, no, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not involved at all. But if they want to be, sure, let me know.
but they know how to
They
find
know how
you
to
if they
get. They
need
know how to
you.
find me. Yeah, yeah. We haven't done anything in a while. What is your
Uh,
view on the future of NFTs? How would it evolve? NFT next.
oh, look at
God, I think
that.
it's gonna. I just think it's gonna be like a regular thing now. You know, like it's gonna be. I
Well,
saw something on the news the other night about it being like a household name, and I was like, wow, that was quick. You know.
Well, yeah, and you know what? The more I read about it, though, like I didn't make any fucking sense to me. Digital scarcity made zero sense to me whatsoever. But
Mm,
now, like the more and more I read about it, the
yeah.
more I I get it, and like I'm like, oh shit, this actually makes sense. Like, to have because it's actually the only way. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just learning here, but like it's the only actual way to make sure there is no fake of
Mm,
this piece of art. Like, it's like someone can paint a replica of a real piece of art, right? Or you can counterfeit money or whatever, but like with the NFT, you can't. It is. You can always go back, and you can always
mm.
find the original copy, and you can always find the owner. And
Exactly. Like, did you see that that documentary on HBO about I can't remember what it was called, but it's like about the guy who was making the fake Pollux in the garage in New York.
no, no.
It's amazing, right? So
Okay.
if anyone is on the stream here is watch this thing, right in the name, but it's basically this auction house or this gallerist in New York had all these like amazing Pollux and all sorts of
Mm-hmm.
classics, right? And one day she gets introduced to this other lady who's like, hey, like there's this guy I knew who got left all these paintings after the 60s, blah 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 blah. They're all up in the shed in New York. So they go up, and she's like, oh, the son who inherited them, he doesn't care about art, he just wants the money for them. So she's selling these knockoffs for like, I don't know, like kind of a third of the price of what they should be. And of course, then
Mm.
they're going. But anyway, so they have all these certifiers come in who certify the paint and the
Yeah.
the acrylics and the canvases and the nails. They even certify like the nails, that the things are nailed to the frames
Wow.
with, or canvases are nailed to the frames with. And it makes it so far that Taschen published a book about one of the artists with the fake on the cover, right?
Really? It's
And
called Made You Look, by the way. Someone just
there you
put it
go.
in the
Yeah,
comments. Thank
made you
you.
look. That's the one. That's the one. Brilliant. And oh god, it kind of really sparked all the conversations with NFTs, because it's like, I mean, people were tweeting about this the other day. That's why I went and watched it. But um, you know, having no proof of certification, and then you go through and someone's after buying this painting then for 7 million, and they find out it's a fake, and then you've got a disgraced gallerist who won't admit that they're wrong. You've got
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this amazing artist who's able to copy anybody. It's just some
Right.
Chinese guy in upstate New York who's like, I think he
Wow.
taught at a university or something, and he's an amazing painter, but he could copy
That's
everyone.
that's ridiculous and crazy.
Yeah, just crazy. And so like, I'm hoping every industry comes with its scams and its
Yeah.
dodgy territory, but like in terms of originality, certification, and the
Well,
truth, I mean, it kind of
can you
can't
do
beat it.
you can you walk us through like how you say, you say you finish a piece? How do you what do you what's your how do you what's the process to like,
Do you get it up
you
there?
just upload it to Super Rare and you're done, or is it
Yeah,
that
pretty
simple,
much.
or is there any like or do you like there's what's like do they certify it or mint it, or I guess the term is mint, right?
Yeah, so you can, I believe that it mints via their platform, but like every all the platforms work differently. Sometimes you can mint wherever you want, and then you can bring it to that platform or whatever. But Super Rare, you mint via their uh, portal, I guess. So
Yeah.
you have like, there's like a tokenized page, and you go there, you upload the art. The art has to be below a certain size. You upload a preview for it. Yeah, you write in everything, which is essentially like writing the metadata to the NFT. So you write in the description, the year it was made, who made it, all the relevant hashtags for it, stuff like that. But if you get it wrong, you can't change it because it's into
Oh
the
wow.
blockchain then, and then there's no editing, right? So I mean, that's kind of proof of cause there, like that you just can't change anything. So when you get it up there, it takes a couple of minutes and it's ready to go. And I've made a couple of
Do you have
mistakes
to
on it.
promote it, or like how does it like, or, like how do
Yeah,
you,
I don't know. I don't know. The internet's mad. The internet
the
just does its
internet
thing.
just the
You know what I
internet
mean?
just
Like
does it.
it's just well, I mean, there is. Yeah, I mean, I'm on Twitter and I promo. Twitter's like the main
Oh,
kind of.
that's right. I've seen you promo your own stuff,
Yeah,
but like no one else is doing anything, or like Super Rare is literally just like a how like a I don't even know what to call it. Like what do they call those things? Like what is Super Rare and Foundation, OpenSea, Known Origin, right? Those are all the same things basically.
marketplaces, I guess. Are you calling them a
Marketplaces.
marketplace?
And
Yeah.
then why'd you choose Super Rare over the other ones?
Oh, it's a good question actually. I think a friend of mine was on it and he was doing pretty well on it. So
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh, that seems to be the place to go because it was curated and it was like,
It's
you know,
curated. That's cool.
yeah, and it wasn't like you can only sell one-on-ones on it, and I felt like that was, if anything, like a very environmentally friendly way to do it because there's a lot of talk about all
Yes,
that
yes,
stuff with the
that's
environment. So,
yeah.
if you're encoding, if you're encrypting, one file, it's not gonna take the power of a village. But if you're doing something like those open editions on some of the other sites with like 900 editions, and then those 900 editions get resold and resold and resold, then it begins to really,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah, so that I don't know, like this is something that I don't know a ton about, like, but I do see like some of the articles and stuff out there um about the how it affects the environment. So
mm,
is it just like an energy usage thing? Like is it just drawing power? Is that the environmental issue, or is there
I
something
believe
else
so. Yeah,
that I
yeah.
don't fucking
It,
comprehend?
it's tough to know. I mean, I've read articles on
Yeah.
both sides of the spectrum, and it's genuinely hard to know. It's a lot of conflicting information. But I think I think what a lot of those articles on the negative side are focusing on is like people who are doing open editions with like where
Yeah.
their marketplace resales go for the next hour or 2 hours, 3 hours, and they just keep it's turning over 900, 900, 900, 900, or
Okay.
whatever. And that I can understand that. It's a bit egregious, but Super Rare just does the one at once.
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about right now, as far as the 900 thing and all
Oh,
that.
right, right,
But
right.
like,
Okay, right. So
I know
if
it's
anyone, if
okay. I mean, I'm assuming some
no,
other
no, no,
people
I'll
do
explain
that. Or
it.
let's see.
So like there's different ways that you can buy these things, right? And they each come with their own scarcity. So if you're doing a one of one, there's one token of that thing. Only one exists. It can only exist in one wallet in one place. So one owner can have it. Um, or you can do something like you can do an edition of five, where there'll be five and five people can own it.
Oh,
Or
got it.
you can do
Okay.
a thing that's called an open edition, and you run it for, let's say, an hour, and as many people can buy it as they want within that hour. And then
Hmm.
if you haven't got in on the
Oh,
window,
okay.
it closes.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the data out there that was kind of on the negative side of things was, you could have huge artists and they might open, hey, everything's a dollar for an hour, and people would rush and rush and rush and rush. So you've got, maybe 900 is an exaggeration. Maybe it's not even close to
Hmm.
what the number was. It could have been 10,000. Who knows?
Mm.
But the point being is that if you have like you're minting one piece, but then the amount of times that gets iterated out and resold and resold and resold that's where the kind of
Okay.
effects come from. So
So you're for your stuff, you can like, but your stuff you sell one edition, right? But it can be resold.
correct, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I've been
Okay.
doing one edition so far. I'm hoping that we can figure a way around the energy thing or whatever.
Right. So
Um,
you're being conscious about it.
so as much as I can be, I
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
don't want to. I don't want to, you
They'll come
know.
and get you, bro.
Yeah,
The
I know,
people,
right? Like
the people who
the
are
people.
they'll come for you.
Yeah, just if anyone's not aware, I've been a vegetarian my whole life, so my carbon footprint is low as is. So enough with the virtue signal, please.
uh, let's talk about some of the pieces that you have on. This is
Please.
when I wish I could share a screen, but I can't. So, but like some of your pieces, like are I mean, your flower series is like incredible, dude. Like I don't even
Thanks,
know
man.
what to say. Like, um, you know, it's like that's the one thing. It's like I would love to have this, and like I would want to actually people to actually see it. Do people get to see stuff on the blockchain, or like what? You know, like
So, I mean, it depends if you want to like if
so like
it's
I could have a copy just like
yeah,
looping in my house on a video screen or whatever,
yeah, of
and be
course.
like, I own this thing on you know this NFT or whatever. I guess that's how you would kind of do it, maybe.
Yeah, I believe that's how people. I think there's a lot of chats at the minute about like how people are going to begin to display this stuff, and whether that's a digital gallery online or that's like
Yeah.
there was one in Australia recently. I think Nifty Gateway did where they had a bunch of people on it, and they all had they had screens. Is that the best way to show it? I'm not too sure, but like you know, interesting nonetheless that it's beginning to be taken seriously at least. But I
Yeah,
think
it's
the
very
digital
cool.
gallery stuff online will begin to become interesting when you have like
Yeah.
kind of like a digital experience that has like
Yeah, yeah, that would be
different
amazing.
artists or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could do, I don't know, there's so much you could do. You could definitely do both like a lot, you know, something live. It would be cool. I don't know.
Mm.
The girl with the pearl earring, like it's, is that like all CG because it's like super captivating the actual human being in it or the digital or the person or whatever. It's just model 3D model kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's a yeah.
It's I don't know what about it. It's kind of like this creepy, eerily,
It's
but
a bit
like I
creepy. Yeah,
can't
yeah,
stop looking at it, you know,
yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
thing, you know, like it's really cool. And then you know, I grew up skateboarding, like the Great Basin Skate Heaven is awesome. And um
That's up
did
for
you
auction right
partner with
now. If
somebody
anyone,
on that
if
or
anyone wants it.
what? Like what's
Yeah,
that?
that's up for auction at the minute. If anyone is
Yeah, I saw
thinking
that.
of
Is that's
spending
the
some
only thing
cash
you
on
haven't
that.
sold, right? Everything else is sold.
Yeah, yeah. Everything else is sold. Yeah. So that's
That's
the last one.
crazy, dude.
So yeah, I'm watching it. I didn't want to. I just kind of wanted to let people have a go at it and
Yeah.
see who's interested. I've got a lot of interest off it, so I'm just
It's
it was a blast.
this is
But
like
yeah, I knew like
yeah.
funny thing like I'm not a very good skater, but like I thought like it's always been something that I wanted to do. I think I was chatting to you even about it last year. If anyone's interested, the thing really came around is like I had this idea maybe early last year. I think it was about February last year, and I Skrillex got in touch with his creative director or whatever got in touch. I'm like, oh, interested in doing a collaboration. This is way before the whole NFT thing
Right.
came about, and I started playing with it. Then I was like, look, I have this idea, and originally I wanted to do this like skater with dreads, like just
Mm-hmm.
completely made of dreads, and every time you landed a trick, you get
Oh,
bigger
oh, cool.
dreads. But it was really hard. It just kept catching in all the wheels and the geo, everything was just all over the place.
Ah, okay.
I couldn't really figure it out, and then I was trying some other stuff, and it didn't really land. When you're doing something, you're like it's 90% cool, but it's
Yeah.
not. So I
There's
was
just
like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. So I was just and it took all the way until maybe I did the house and then the Porsche, and then I was like,
yeah. Hmm.
I've got to finish
Oh,
it
the
with this
house
guy now.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I like I can't the fucking glitch in the Matrix shit. It's like I don't know, dude. Like I can't get over it. Like I love that shit so
Yo, you
much.
like
It
it?
just oh my God, I love it, dude. It's like I don't know. For some reason, it's just like it actually gives you a feeling like you're like this is how I feel right now, dude. Like you know,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
this is the industry we're working in right now. This is what
yeah.
people do. They're just like running into glass windows, you know, or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
I know
Um,
that's the way I felt. I mean, I feel like everyone felt like that last year, right? Just like
yeah,
couch,
yeah.
couch,
It's
computer, studio,
yeah,
print, couch.
yeah, yeah. It's really cool. That's really cool, man. I love. I mean, you know, like I said, you know, I'm a huge fan. Um, what else? What do you? Are you? What's in the? What are you gonna do? Are you done for a minute, like making stuff for NFT, or are you working on other stuff, or?
Yeah, I've got Well, I've got to finish the collection first. So there's one that I haven't put out yet. It's on my website, but I've put a little extras love into it, and that's going to come
Mhm.
out next week. Well, whenever the
Okay.
skater sells, it will come out a week after the skater sells. And
Oh, is that how you have like some sort of theory to that?
I've just been kind of doing it ad
Yeah.
hoc. I don't like have a
Right.
schedule or
Right. No.
anything. Just like whenever I feel like it, really.
Cool.
Um,
Cool.
so yeah, that'll come out roughly a week whenever the skater's done, if it gets sold. Um, And then I've got a fun collaboration that's kind of in the same world with a musical artist. I don't want to blow their spot up right now because it might
Yeah,
be on,
yeah.
but which is really cool. It's got all I'll say is that like it's got a burnt out police car in it, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I like burnt out
Um,
police cars. Like, just from a textural standpoint, not because I like
right,
burnt
yeah,
police cars. Let's be
yeah.
clear there.
And then yeah, loads of us. I can't really talk about a lot of the other stuff. I'm looking at it
Yeah.
on the screen over there. I can't really talk about
Are
it.
you, is that where most of your energy and headspace is right now into this world? Are you still making your other art? Are you still making commercials? Are you still designing stuff for brands? Like where's your energy? Where are you putting your energy these days?
I've seen a big change in the way that I'm getting work right now. Like a lot of people reaching out about like a commercial NFT relationship, which is great. And I think that it's good to have those conversations now to so we all find a common ground at some point because they're coming like they're very different conversations. It's not the typical stuff you'd be used to in a commercial setting where you have a producer and you have an art director and you have you know a team and you have a client with an approved board and all that sort of stuff. Like that's all
Mm-hmm.
gone. It's all
Mm-hmm.
completely, which in a way is good to shake things up, but in another way you're kind of conditioned to work in a certain way, and
Mm-hmm.
with those conversations with those people in the usual structure of things, uh, people know how long things take and how much things cost and all that, right?
Right.
Um, so uh, there's a big difference. So in terms of energy, I'm definitely focusing a lot on myself more than I have been in the past few years. And you've known me for years now, and I've always dedicated a good chunk of the year to
Yeah.
coming up with new stuff and experiment with new stuff and all that. So I'm trying to dedicate more to it, and this has given me the flexibility and luxury to do that. So that's good.
Well, to
Um,
me, it's like, it's actually happening across all art, really, or like a lot of the people that I work with, really, it's like it's time to take stuff into your own hands, and it's like,
yeah.
an NFT is one way that you can actually do that, where like, and I mean, it's the same reason for me that am now I work independently, right? I don't actually necessarily work for any one person. I work for
Mm,
myself, right? And it's like, because you want to get that, you want that feeling of like, you're responsible for yourself. You want to take matters
mm,
into your own hands, like, and I think it's cool, and I think that NFT especially for music and art, it's like,
mm,
and is a huge platform for that, obviously. I mean, I just love the idea that you and like a recording artist could like make a music video and like retain and then sell it, and like
yeah.
retain, and like, and have a ownership of it, like without doing, like, having to go through a recording, or whatever, like a
I
label
know.
that has
Yeah.
like
Right.
like a
Yeah.
commissioner, and all this stuff. And it's like, to me, that's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah,
I,
totally life changing, like in that regard.
yeah, yeah, and it seems like it's actually bringing people freedom a little bit, right? I
Mm,
mean, obviously it's not for everyone or whatever, but
totally, yeah,
like, but the more I read about it, the more it's like I've like become a massive proponent of it and believer in it, and I think it's obviously here to stay and gonna evolve. And
yeah.
it sounds like I need to buy something to, I gotta get a token
You
on the
got to get in
chain,
the
bro.
game, right?
I gotta get a token, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here, let me answer some of these questions here. I was like,
Yeah, please do.
has this
Please, please.
has this become your full time efforts? Client work's definitely still existing. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Um, Only because the ones that I'm doing right now I'm really passionate about, and they're great. People have been really. You'll see in a few weeks, but it's someone that everybody knows, and it's something that everybody will see. So,
That's
um,
awesome. Wow,
I'm,
that
I'm
sounds
I'll tell
exciting.
you, I can tell you offline, but I can't say
Yeah.
it here.
Wee. I'll
In
sell
your
that shit
opinion,
on the
what's the best
chain, bro. Can I
platform to
sell that
publish?
knowledge?
Huh?
Nothing. It was just a silly remark.
All right. What's the best platform to publish some NFT series and why? Series, if you're going to publish multiple, I don't really know. It depends kind of what you want to do. If you want to do like a series of like, um, if you want to do 5 and you want to do 10 editions of each, like a place like Super Rare is probably not your best option for that. It's probably like Maker's Place or even I've been on Zora briefly, but I don't really know that much about it. So I don't know. I think you have to experiment and see what's best for you, mate, because everything's different and everything has their own benefits and has their own cons. So
Does do you think there seem to be more of those popping up? For like, is
yeah,
that? Do you think they'll all stay, or do you think it'll like kind of whittle down to the ones that are actually make the most sense for? I don't know. I'm just
you
curious, and
know, it
maybe you don't
reminds
know
me
either.
actually at this point in time, you and I were working together, but it was in 2017, and it was like there was a big boom in the altcoin cryptocurrency market, right? And you had all these
Yeah.
exchanges popping up everywhere, like, oh, you can buy Duck Coin over here, and you can buy Skull Coin over here, and all this
Yeah,
sort
there's
of
still
shit.
more coin coming out too. Yeah, but go ahead.
But you had all these ones, right? And they're on these exchanges, and you'd see people pouring in thousands of dollars to them. Those exchanges would turn off overnight, and everyone's money be gone. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like I'm not saying that this is exactly going to happen, but there's certain securities on certain sites, and people should do their own digging into that. There is certain securities on certain sites that if they go down, that you'll kind of retain your token,
Right.
the digital certification for that token, because I think that's really important, because this isn't the same as like a gallery going out of business. You just take your painting back. It's like
Right.
this is like you know all the provenance for everything that you've done could be gone depending on where you're minting on it. So it is something that you definitely need to be careful of and do some research on.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's like this process of like, but so if you had a digital asset on an NFT on Super Rare, and for some reason it went like yours still lives on the blockchain, right? Until you like there's that, it's called burning or something, where you like can actually, that's the only way to actually get rid of a NFT or something. I don't know if you know anything about
Yeah,
that, but
there's
you
yeah,
like
because I've
send it
uploaded
to
a
some
burn
sort of
wallet.
weird.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've done it before. I've uploaded things and I've made a mistake on it. I'm like, oh shit, like one typo and I'm like, oh, now I got to pay again. So burn it. It's like, oh, it just cost me 100 quid.
Does it cost money to put stuff like what's the, is it through
Yeah,
like
so
you're just like Super Rare kind of takes care of everything for you, right? You have like that's like as far as like you pay a fee to them and they kind of handle everything when you upload or something.
yeah, so they'll handle all the contract stuff. So all the smart contract stuff that's built into
Right.
the token, let's say, right? So let's say you buy something off me for 5 Ethereum, right?
Hmm.
And then you go and you sell it for 50. In that smart contract is the 10% royalty that I would get every time you resell
Hmm.
that, or every time somebody
Hmm.
resells that. So I would never have to chase you down or whatever. It would
That's,
just
yeah, wow.
automatically have my wallet address and it would go back to it. So that's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
artists don't make royalties. So, or certainly, visual artists don't make royalties.
Right.
Well, they do now, but like, up
Yeah.
until before this space, like there was no way if you were to sell a piece of, if I was to sell something to you and then you flipped it for 10x, right?
Yeah.
I don't get anything out of it, but
Right.
being that existing now is pretty amazing. And
Yeah.
also that like, if you have a gallery, your gallerist is more than likely taking 50%.
Right.
Um,
Right. Right.
so, the marketplaces now are some are I don't know what they all are, to be honest, but I know Super Rare is like 15. Some others are maybe less, some others are a bit more.
It's
So
like reselling shoes, when you send it to about the same. It's all in that
yeah,
space.
StockX or something, right?
StockX or whatever, they take like anywhere from 20 to 10 to 20%.
Mm.
Cool. What else is going on, man? Any other questions from people still hanging around?
Yeah, any
Wanna,
questions?
oh, dude, I have to talk about this. Like, this has
Right.
nothing to do with NFTs, but I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things is all the requests that you get for your Instagram handle.
Yeah.
It's literally my favorite thing, dude. Where someone's like,
I need to collect them all. Like
dude, that
everyone's
is
saying, like,
NFT worthy, bro. Like, I don't know.
yeah,
It's
that's
like
NFT material. Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
it's so good. Like, I love that
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
It makes me laugh
No, I
every
will collect
time,
it. It's
dude.
just hard, because I get it, I screenshot it, I upload it, and I don't think anything of it. But like, I'm gonna have to go and like dig through all the screenshots to
Please
find them.
do,
Some
dude.
of them are
It's like
wild.
it's like every time you put one. then your comments, they're really good, dude. It's good
Did you
shit.
see
It's like
the one
high
with the
entertainment value.
the one with the girl who was like, "Hi, my swimwear brand is called Griff, so if you could give me the account now, that'd be great."
Oh,
No, there's been some
dude.
classics, so
Yeah,
no,
that's
I'll
amazing.
collect them one day.
That's amazing. What's someone saying here? Ha ha
Can I
ha,
have
me
Griff for
too.
no
Can I
reason?
have Griff for no reason? Oh, good. Um, what's that last one there?
Where do I learn more? Don't say Google. Okay.
I mean, I can try to post some links or something in the chat. I have like a bunch of good articles actually that are like
Yeah,
that I've been researching. There's a really good podcast that I've been listening to called Modern Finance, and he covers blockchain. His name's Kevin Rose, and he brings on all these really amazing um, people who are involved or collectors and all this stuff, and but they're from like the financial side of the world, so they're
yeah.
like making, and even now though they're very cautious right now about what they buy. They're not, most of these guys, what they're doing is they're buying people, they're buying artists that they feel right, because the investment part of it is still kind of up in the air what it's going to be,
Mm,
right? So what they're doing is they're like, hey, I like this piece of art. I want to support this artist. And that's kind of the mindset they're taking when they purchase something.
mm.
Um,
Actually, it's worth noting here as well that there's actually like a lot of Bitcoin funds that are collecting NFTs for like portfolio assets, right? So
mm,
in the same way that you would if you had a mutual fund in a bank, and they might
yeah,
have one of their portfolio assets might be a fine art piece. You're seeing the same in the digital world already, which is
that's
kind of
cool,
nuts.
dude. It's
So you
fucking
could actually
awesome.
be, if you were a client, and you had somebody managing you had a wealth manager who had Bitcoin futures, you'd have like, and somebody's art went from being 3,000 to a million in a couple of months. Like, you're looking pretty good on that.
Well, I mean, it's the same. To be honest, it's like how people collected art in the old days. It's actually not that different because a lot of
Yeah.
people will just buy a super expensive piece of art and they'll put it in a vault in Switzerland and it'll just sit there until they sell it. They'll never even see it. I mean,
Right, right, right.
and then it would change ownership, like that until someone would finally maybe pull it out. But like some things never even see the light of day, and that's a material thing. It's like it's not, and people are just making money and money on it. Just it's the same theory, really. I
Yeah,
mean,
same
there's
theory, but in a
yeah,
digital space. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
this
yeah,
questions in there about sorry, somebody said, can I scroll back? Oh, I can.
yeah.
Is it a bubble? I mean, I think people thinking that uh, it's hard to say. Like the idea, I think, is in people's heads now, and it's around forever, right? Like the idea of digital ownership, digital certification, all that's here to stay. Decentralized finance definitely has grown. You can see it even with like, people using Ethereum as a kind of baseline layer on top of even Bitcoin to run DeFi apps. So I think it's around to stay.
Oh yeah, the
Whether
DeFi thing. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, whether the NFT market for creatives stays around or not, I'm going to assume it does. I mean, I can't see a reason it would go anywhere if people are enjoying it. If people
I
are
think like the prices may change. Maybe they
totally,
level off
yeah,
or things like that. But I don't. It actually makes sense. So I don't. Like if you start researching it, and that's what I encourage people to do. Is like just read about it. That you only need a few things. Like and you're like it starts to click pretty quickly, especially if you
mm,
already know about, I assume most people know about blockchain now and that kind of thing. So
yeah, 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 yeah. And do I believe it's a P? Yeah, yeah. Well, I think as soon as a lot of these platforms open the floodgates, like people are uploading everything they've ever made in their entire lives. So of course it's going to be a race to the bottom there. I think it's how you utilize the platform is a different question than whether the platform is the right place to do it or the right thing to exist. But yeah, there's been people who have uploaded stuff every day for months, and it's I don't know. Like, I mean, that's their choice.
yeah, right.
No, I wanted to take some time and do a collection that was more bespoke and had like only five pieces, and that was it. So I guess it's a free market. Everyone can do whatever they want, but
Right.
it's just really the way you play the game. I think if people are expecting to everyone is going to make the same amount or do, I mean, it's obviously it can't happen. So,
Someone's
um,
calling out Dublin or something years ago. Did you see that?
no, I mean Dublin years ago. I popped this in the session. If Griff was planning any other talks, oh yeah, because I did that one years ago. Sure. Like if if anyone will have me in Dublin, I'll do another one for sure.
I remember
That
I
was years
wanted.
ago.
Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to do something with you for a while, and I actually finally just started doing stuff. But so I'm glad that you agreed to join me. I figure,
Oh,
we have
absolutely.
a rapport already, so that makes things a
I
little
missed you.
easier.
I missed you too
I
much.
know, dude. I don't know if I'm gonna get to New York anytime soon, to be honest. I would
Yeah.
love to, but I miss. Oh, Mitchy just chimed
Hey,
in.
Mitch.
I love to see. I love to see Mitch in my MP in our feed. That's amazing.
If Tony
Um,
Hawk ever get the collaboration request accepted, I actually ran somebody sent me his entertainment lawyer's email address, so I should follow up. But I haven't
oh
heard.
yeah. Well, he lives down the street here, so
Oh, that's right. Yeah, can you not just go
yeah,
down to him and say, "Hey,
yeah. I mean,
here"?
he's like, I don't know. I've been watching I don't know if you're a fan or whatever, but he's like, he's doing these for tricks now and then retiring them. The last time he ever did a trick, like
Oh,
he should
right.
be putting that shit on the blockchain.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
mean, he
mean,
should
it's
be
like a
making millions
video of
off
him
that,
doing
right?
his last trick ever, like a 540, fakey 540 or whatever.
Right.
Like and then he like, it's like and he's like over 50 years old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're like,
He
wow.
went to the same, he went, we,
Yeah.
he's older than I am, but he went to my high
Oh,
school.
yeah.
Yeah. So, all that shit. So
That's a
anyway,
joke. He went to your high school.
yeah,
Jeez.
we're from the area, bro. San Diego, bro.
Yeah. Well, if you
Yeah,
see him, tell him to.
I will. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some people I still know in the skate community here. I mean, it's so massive now, and um, it's so like it's massive, dude. But what else? Anything else? You
Any
got
other weird questions?
any other goods? Yeah, let's give us something, dark, weird.
Something evil. That's not evil. Look, I even here. Look, I even
we're
was
getting
gonna
some
try and
compliments,
fix
which are.
this thing in
Oh
for the
yeah,
chat.
yeah.
Do you
I've
have one of
got
them?
one too, but my Apple
Yeah, your
my these
AirPods.
things still work better. It's amazing.
Favorite candy? Candy's a weird word to me. I can't say it right. I
I'm
had a Kinder Bueno the other day. They're fucking delicious. In your
I'm
opinion, is it?
I'm like a real candy person. Like I
Are you?
like yeah, dude. I'm actually had to go off it. It was like
Hold on.
destroying my life. I'm like a massive Skittles, Starburst. I like crunchy on the outside, chewy in the middle. Um, I try to do these funny like quick things. Oh, what's that?
Law levels.
Oh, that see the problem with
Different
those
type.
kind of things,
Different
they're
type.
just legalized, right? Legalized in
Yeah,
New York,
legalized
right?
in
So
New York.
everything
I think
that's
so. Yeah.
great.
Cuomo
But
had to do something on his way out.
I used to I could like the candy like as weed, like edibles, like I can't just eat one because I like candy so much. So like that's not an option for me.
That's not a good idea. Is it possible to publish NFT artworks from commissions or made as an employee? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. That's all I'll say.
That's
What do you
fucking you
think
just struck.
about NFT conspiracies? What are they? Are they like Bill Gates microchip conspiracies? I haven't heard any of them. Um, and do you plan on using flowers as type of signature for future collections? It's a good question. Yeah, I think I might actually, with a bit of a twist. I've been thinking about the next one already, sketching some ideas. So I have some funny sketches actually if they're around. I don't know. They're over there. But no, I've been thinking about it already. So this stuff takes months obviously to make and make right. So as soon as I'm done with this, I'll start on the next few. But it's going to take probably another 4 or 5 months. Do
By the
you?
way, my favorite Skittles are regular Skittles. So just people were
Oh yeah.
asking. Yeah, I don't know. There's
Aren't
so
they all
many. I
different?
like the dark. There's one called like Dark and Scary, and I like it just because I like dark and scary stuff. But to
That's
be
a good.
honest, the regular Skittles are the best.
Oh, say how long take a gain a following? Ah, man, I've been at this 10 years, 15 years. I don't know,
You didn't
ages.
just wake
Like
up one day
you
and it
can
was like,
aim and get you can direct your attention and get a following. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
but if you, I just I don't care all that much. It's like if you put stuff out all the time, people are going to pay attention. But I prefer
Yeah,
to
yeah.
take a bit of time with it. Money laundering and crypto hype and so on. Money laundering, yeah, maybe. Definitely a way it's a way, but I don't know if at the end of the day, I mean, you can talk to an accountant about it, mate, but at the end of the day, if you want to take it out, you're getting a 1099 from someone. So, from an artist
Oh,
point of view, I don't think there's any laundering going on, and maybe from crypto bros, but I'm unaware. Honestly, I've no idea how any of that works. So, what design software you could dig in? Oh, I'm excited for that new EmberGen thing. Have you seen that? Remember, Tino, if you ever had to do a fluid sim or a fire sim or anything like that, it would take you like you'd be just like,
oh,
no, we're not
bro.
doing it. We're not doing it, right? This
Yeah, yeah.
this place has made like this real time engine for it, right? Called EmberGen, and it's like just you turn it on, you're like fireball, real time, amazing.
I love
So
that
so
fireball
I'll use that.
real
Do I
time.
use a computer? Yeah, sometimes. Here's the mouse I use. It's from Microsoft Ireland. It's very small.
Microsoft.
See
Really
that?
good
See through,
question.
like the old Game Boys.
From DIA Studio. Beautiful
Yeah,
stuff.
right. You can and look at that retractable cord. Wait, doesn't even work.
Oh, dude, I'm so sad that I didn't. I usually will have to maybe we'll do it again sometime, but I usually do these like quick answer questions that are like make you say funny shit, but
Oh,
I
super
didn't have
nervous.
time to prepare today. I'm sorry.
Probably better off.
Yeah, it would have been like,
Gemma, do I work on a Mac? I work on a PC. Um, Sorry to ruin that, break into your sentence, Tino. I just wanted to answer that.
oh no, I'm not that. It's fine, dude. I mean, that's why there's two people here. Could you imagine if it was just me talking? People would be, like,
It'll be way more
I'd be
whiskey.
just. It would be, yeah, it would be nonsensical for sure. um,
PC. I have PC. Feel the Macs are a bit behind on the GPU stuff. So PC all the
yeah,
way.
they're great for producer. I mean, I still have like a 2014 Mac, no
Oh, it
joke.
probably works
Fuck,
great, does
kicks
it?
ass. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Gateway 2000. Here, remember the Gateway logo was wasn't it a cow? That's like the coolest logo
I
ever,
think it was
right? They just had like cow patterns everywhere. I was like, bring that back. That was good design.
that
That was
makes a lot
cool,
of sense.
right? You
Do
believe the
you?
3D Max is dead. Are
That's
you
a good
joking? Did
question.
you not just see what I did?
That's what
Stop.
you used.
Yeah, pretty
Is
machines, but can't search for shit. True, yes. There's no good search on a PC. Cow design on the boxes. Yeah, cow design on the boxes.
yeah,
Here,
cow design on the boxes. That's
they
right.
were great. They were great. They had the green logo. I think that was my first computer, Gateway 95 or something. Remember them?
God, we dude, in my household was the Commodore 64, bro. That's how old I am.
Oh
I got
yeah,
you by about a decade or so, I think.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Invest in
Mr.
Netscape.
Fung, is
You know,
that still out there?
MySpace is coming back. I mean, no reason why
Is it
Netscape
really?
can't.
Shut up.
I don't know.
I miss my
Uh,
MySpace. I had some like really important stuff on there, and then it's just gone now.
Louise, you're going to have to rewind. I gave my opinion on the future earlier on. Yeah, I think they're here to stay. Maybe I need to get a PC. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe that's what's missing.
All right. Well, cool. I mean, I got to wrap up. I actually probably have some stuff I need to be doing. I get some really weird texts during this from people who, need answers on things that are actually less important than this, but I
He's
feel
a busy man,
obligated
folks.
because I'm a fucking
Busy
hustler.
man. Yeah.
Wait, let me, Birdie, come here. Let me show you the new
Whoa,
dog.
look at those short shorts. They
Oh
are
yeah,
unexpected.
whoa.
They're your boxers.
No, they're not boxers. These are very nice shorts, by the way.
Jesus Christ. You all right? You losing any circulation there?
Shut the fuck up. Come here. Come here, girl. Oh, my baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, she doesn't. She wants to go back to sleep. Okay, girl. Okay. Okay. Go back to sleep. She likes to sleep under my neck.
oh, good. You have
Um,
to send me some photos.
yeah, for
Leg
sure.
reveal.
Yeah. I forgot, but it's cooking out here, bro. I got my pool's already 76, bro. So it's like, yeah,
Tino
it's
has a
already
pool
pool
up
weather.
around. If you want to know where the party's at, after the after party at Tino's.
Not anymore, buddy. I wish that I paid my dues to the partying, and
Rest in peace.
now yeah, please let's rest that guy in peace. He was fun for a minute, but he was fun at the beginning of the night. Um, all right. The comments are getting too good. Well,
All
cool,
right.
man. Thank you so much. I mean, where can people see your work?
You can get me on, well, click the link here, Griff. I'm up top there, just GRIF, one F.
Yeah.
On Twitter, I might have the Griff handle soon enough if everything works out the way I'm planning on Twitter, but I'm Mr. underscore Griff on Twitter. Or you can get me, my website is griff.studio. And if anyone's joining from my side, follow Tino. He is an amazing executive producer, amongst other things, in San Diego. And he's worked with amazing talents and produced some pretty phenomenal shoots. So um, follow him for more chats and more insight to the artist community.
Thanks, man. Thanks for all the shout outs. And I will be this whole video will
Thanks,
be
Wal.
posted in my in my series on my IGTV, so you'll be able to go through it, scrub through, find the bits and
Cancel
bobs
myself.
and beautiful pieces, and all that jazz. Cool.
Cool,
Good.
man.
I
Great to talk,
mean,
and thanks everyone for
you're
tuning in.
amazing, man. Yeah, you're amazing. So
Love you more.
I look forward to seeing you in real life. I don't know when.
Soon. One
Yeah.
day. We'll make it
All right,
happen.
buddy. All right. I'll
All
see
right.
you later.
Take it easy, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.